Rush hour. A meeting of phrases from the shifting woodscape. The lugworm is a red alien, lit by the wet lozenge of the sun. The oyster catchers find a way to waltz on the temporary shores. The sublime comes and soaks the estuary. The birds chattering like electricity. It could be Hong Kong in the rush hour. Buildings emptying of people, odd voices gossiping in the streets, not enough time to eat on the go. In the end they pause. Up to their knees in the city, strangers. The wind passes through the gaps in the hotels. The mudflats will reappear in Norfolk, given a little patience.
Snettisham. Calling Reshank land at last on the mud. 6 inch deeper lugworms, innocent of the pink wind chiming back. The channel of seawater free of questions, unlike hollowing godwit running on the purple edges, excited by the lengthening. The sea takes its evening tide. The tide waits lunar instructions. There are the remnants of a groin, used to break the dusk waters. The birds understand lost phonemes. The beauty is an adaptation. Oyster catcher squeals prise open the air before they land. Under the hemisphere of sky, each with a claim or unhomely, clinging now to their territory.
My ask me do much. My ask me do much. Sperigoia ingestines. No bowing warging wine. Fisty superlation gubacan. Germs a sheaf. The torsos entwined sparging. Bubbling panicky me sod. The mauve spring rose delications of rejuvenation. For the glory of a wog on high. Belly button wiggles with rum in his rum. That island shipment brothels bordello is a dark man's mind. Digging in entrenchment dark and sober. Pleasant dallies in the river of rhymes. Oligarchic rivalries wrestling big daddies to the ground. The noise that are a baby on the cat. Who spews her stomach right down on the ruby mat. Jigger jumping giraffes water their long noses in supreme branches. The wolves hunting in a pack of carders falling like snow in Narnia, and a silent purr of the lion's mane. God was crucified on a nailed cross, which is a sham. The bluish birds twittering Torrento machinations, nattering among old women and their nags. Haphazard dukes cover the car parks of fate. It's getting the dawn of late. The real-time skies sing ode to Joyce, James and Finnegan, proposing electrifications on a typewriter that refuses to write. This is in the end the all-significant of late last man's glorious fight. Whistling scream, dungeonator morass, urination detonate, relaxative mutation. With the heartbeat of the jungle's leafy monkeys, ream hide, they're all close and cloaken, babana, apples, mango and shed peel, that rebels of bark, cagination of costification, hallelujah to Olivia, mission of superflation. Weasels scurry on their white bellies over bones extraction, filtrations. The tiger is prowling wild for the cubs in the den, and Mary, her frock wraps blinding her face, oils the Lord's big plaids with her lacing feet. Cardinals separate, forced by a wistful condition, the ibis and the glossy albino. Rub their eyes, hyena, lost in the wood, who should, who would, education, morales, minimalis, oh yeah, he could. The streams of airs, deep fall perforates down the warm bedroom pane that occludes our view, renew, platinize, immersion identity, blazing white's April Levine. 3 days on a long walk back, Mondiam branches fork as lightning lightening the spell scry. Our eyes, punctural, punked and hazy dew, tired war before the cattle's late mew. A break on pause, the twittering contraptions wind up alert in the bushy deep gardens. And Oramus, Musicalus, Soloismus. Can you speak foreign? She states, like the live stocking's feet that my arms, hands cannot quite meet. We, the innocent incantations of our secrets, bursting open, poppy seeds of fires into consumption, missile and weight, west and toward north. Business, fair city, where Molly Malone sits alone and pretty. We gaze, and we know. The good girl, invisible in the next worm, vomits up her limit to incessant differations of underlying traits, an overdose in desperate sin, no one to save us the truth. The realizing all those old streets here is diffident. The part-time guitar player tunes his chord, such as we muse. This one more night we fill up an equaling pain, and our refrain is one of concord. All of this isolated island running amok through life's skies in this inner city, inner asylum, old mental bin. Black-billed crossbuses peck adulantly at damp wet pine cones. Deep and away in the forest, enjoying a bird's freedom, fighting for its family's nutrition. Alive, long crying one song, longer-tailed titmice mauve and pink and durade dubiously through the forest clearings near the deer park near Adam's Ark. A hive built to timber the fells and subsides in the transcendental glow. That space with its iconographic objects giving the sense of placed habitation. We have all walked now, far inland, surrounded by sea. How much further will we made our God's fortunes before we have fight from England? Those sonorous burns on our bark's park, the wind-soaked dog's lap and licks, once a friend, once betrayed. Awake moves upwards down the valley, and red and green and raw. The rollers, plumage bluer than the spew sea, pattern like grandma's hoops, sitting cosy at home in her shoe. We meson melt neutrino sprayed upwards like downwards beneath the mole's mounds in domes of decision churches. Shall we return? 'Tis getting late, no osprey. Breaking step past through the adder's bracken, mull sky, argyle and thorn, rare fair isles of foggy May, bleaching our hearts of dismay. We'll return and spend one more year here, for our hearts warmed and disturbed. We'll demand that their in Bible say. The Rokers ride on ton of camel's back, 2 hump snake-eyed belly dromedary. We let the shining forefarmers, fearing equanimity, 4-horse wing flying through gas hazy prosine and duplex. The amoeba entwine a cord in stimulated sex, viruses from outer space, land deranging inhabitation,
gleaming on the
going
walls
forwards
below.
To multiply, disadvantage
The
and
moon
girdle man's
shadows
noise with its
the surface
celestial
cloud.
ambitions. To that firefly of
Is it the reed-best
remoter
swell of Lucian's
articulations,
darlings?
there lie more numerous
Girdling
throbbing
the
heads of
forest
jellyfish in mottled wings pods.
Is it demons to
There
will,
bleaches the
of
lines,
skirling
the
rail,
haunch upon the rare
hiding
darkened
in bracky
spots.
smart?
Chocolates taste nice in the winter.
Is it 100
better in the
geese,
spring, as
scaling
sun's
sugar
idyllic
beet
too.
fields,
A little guinea
watered
with burning umber
bush
in the
by a
coat, and
swimming
rustling
owl?
brown up leaves.
Or is it
That
nothing?
stray, the
Which
old
spooks the
chap
wading birds
King's path,
among the
there the
Kettlewort
gods be
fields?
astonished, enough to demarcate the marble staff. What is the secret
The
of the bridge?
cormorants.
Self-surpassed, to transcend to fear,
I am under
to
the
door
final light
in order to
again.
run, to become invisible, with
waiting for
invisible
tidings to
Saturn
recur
fun,
on demand.
descending mountain lengths of ash, rounding
The
forests,
sand eels
screeching
flicker
granite
half
crabs,
asleep in the
who
sea.
piously pay in homage to their
I head
scrumpulaneous
into darker
gods
places,
by the banks of the
where I am like
village.
those
The buffoon
cormorants of
opens the
prey,
jackdaw trap,
who
and
rest
lifts
their
over the
silhouettes
ox's travelling
across
head.
the sand
A more
of that
fatty
wild
croaks the
lagoon.
frog, his teeth chattering.
I may be
A
visited
death
by
rattle
relatives
that the
prowling
viper
after
sucks out and
hours.
out. The
They
eternal
appear to
return
have
of our will
secrets,
creates
or are
transcending
we
power.
left alone?
The uniform unleashes
A place I
fate.
believe
The fisted
myself
pile on the
safe.
floor, joining his two
A
pairs.
system of nervous
Once the
checks
prolongest now alone
operates
child,
over my
the
body
blood
in
and seal of
fake
the mirror,
repose.
the golden mermaid's
The revolving
and
circle.
deep within the great sea and shiver.
And though I'm
Who
passive,
infects us
I will
with guilt,
twitch in the centre of
migraines,
night,
headaches,
tied to a
eyes,
glistening
adventures,
vision,
and the
in a
all-empowered
greater
guilt.
dream.
I'm all echo. Who's me and who? Take off the knot boots and dig the first black shoe.
The barn owl. Our gods are telling us of the owl's survival after nightfall. Dry, light wings, hunting, floating, face full of eyes, brain made of sorrow. One dared to make a sound, trembling in the darkness as if on a wire, or else a screech lonely over the reeds. I wish to fly like a soft owl by a riverbank. Hear a voice that's always haunted. I can hear it barn nowhere. Every night, fledgling owls screech into the corners of the empty room and wait for more morsels of suffering to feed on. The owlets will grow into angel creatures, hunting in the dark. They won't relinquish the mice or the moon.
Order parameter. The temperature of consistency strength. The spatter of seagulls clinging into a blue windowsill. The flight of gull into rain-streaked
Order
winds,
parameter.
as if crossing the Nishimori line.
The temperature of
The rise
consistency
of wind
strength.
primary. Ice,
The
wet, and
smatter
creaked voices
of seagulls
murmuring around cold
clinging
buildings.
to a blue window sill.
The collapse of a wave.
The flight of
Immature
gulls into rain-streaked
winter
winds,
plumage.
as if crossing the
Gulls
Nishimori line.
circling in the sky.
The
unable
rise
to
of wind
divorce the
primary,
sea.
ice, wet, and creaked voices murmuring around cold buildings. The collapse of a wave, immature blackback in winter plumage, gulls circling the sky, unable to divorce the sea.
Psychoanalysis of birds. Gulls form the lull of feeling, forming a great arch. The mood under the larch, they winter on the grey waters. The late Lethe, the memory of the sky circling like psychiatry, wintering on the pensive lake. Gulls, scholem hulls. The cathexis, the thing, the flight, remembering the night, and the Jungian analysis. Wing-tips rising, cutting into the bare wired air, like a pale daytime star, white shallow throats swallowing. Sense, an eye lens, an ego found among debris, toward the gulls' destinies, the sound of defter existence. Oh, the sorrow, the patience of early November, to roost among a lovely shiver, their world an unending home, thus Oedipus, or the loss of the mother, on the silver surface, there is a clear glassed plain, whence evidence of an avian connection, the gull's secret mentation, their shoreline recovery.